Nice. Hello, everyone. Okay, there. Okay, yeah. Let me share your. Yeah, you just hit share and then yeah, Messenger, WhatsApp groups. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Like gaming stuff or. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Hmm. I think so. Yeah, you're pretty reasonable. Yeah. 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 Well, you only have to say it once then, right? Problem with all the life coaching or even teaching is you just have to like say the steps over and over and over again, the same piece of thing. Yeah.
Well, you're right in the middle. What's up, chat? Hello, hello, hello. Can you speak again? I want to make sure you're coming through.
Testing. Yeah.
Hey, there you are.
I am right in the middle. You're right.
You are right in the fucking middle. Let me move you. Alex made an avatar where you're looking the same way as everybody else, but that for whatever reason didn't update. Not sure why.
You mean looking the same way as everyone else?
Everybody else's avatar here. Let me show you. Let's see if I can find mine.
Is it looking the opposite direction?
Yeah,
Like,
well, you're looking forward, and everybody
mhm.
else is looking sideways.
Oh. Well, I'm very, I tend to look very forward thinking kind of person. So,
Is that okay? Okay, John.
okay, that's sideways, right?
It's a
Or is
little
that
bit more
still forward?
sideways, I think. The way you're looking, I'm looking. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, technical things we'll figure out in the future.
Do you want to share in stream and Discord too, so I can
Oh yeah, yeah. I can do that for
not
you.
be on the delay?
Let me share screen.
Perfect.
Is it up and ready?
God damn it! Hold on. There we go. Yep, I'm in.
All right. First thing I wanted to do, um, Tora put out this new video, and I wanted to watch it. I haven't
Okay,
seen
yeah.
it, so this is like a blind react for both of us. So
Blind
let's,
react.
yeah, a blind react. Welcome to the internet.
Oh, long sword.
Video review. All right. Let's take a look. I've not watched this. I'm gonna find out what's
Asked
happening
if
here.
I would give my impressions of a video that's out there called Can Kali Beat Hema in a Fight? Now, I went through the video a few times. I looked at it just to make sure that I got the full gist of everything. And I can tell you right off the bat, this video has been misnamed. It is not about can Kali beat Hema in a fight. It is actually about a guy who is basically just going to a school that practices an art form he does not in order to get some information exchange and then to do a little
Oh,
sparring
it's a
in
long
this
one.
art form that he is not practiced in.
Uh,
And then, of course, yes, they do go and do a little bit of sparring with
is Kali? Yeah, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Is that a art form?
I guess
A
actually
martial art
that's a
form?
it's
good
just a very
question.
short video, but I would certainly hope that to be the case. But as I said, generally speaking, I'm not the kind of guy who's going to make a habit of attacking into my opponent's attack, and I will indeed use those quote passive. Keith Riley is the owner of the school. Keith proceeds from there to continue to give the lessons to Kevin, and as one would expect, he's very
Is that SEA Kevin? Like
receptive
Master
to all
Kevin?
of the knowledge, and then they proceed to get into some sparring, or at least to thankfully, I mean, while I was, a little leery of that statement about there not being any parries in the passive sense, at any rate, always attacking into your opponent's attack. as you can see here, these two guys are indeed using measure, which is great to see. So clearly there's more to it than just I'm going to attack into my opponent.
Pretty obvious. Generally, we
Oh,
I think I might have been to this HEMA school before because I think it's in Atlanta.
is it? Oh, okay. I didn't know if you recognize.
I mean, I
the name
didn't like do it if anything official there. I just met Slav
Good
and
job of
David
demonstrating.
Copens and like some like pickups, like sparring with them for Rapier one time.
This is longer than I thought. Callie is dual wielding, and you're a dual wielder. Fantastic commentary here. Oh, I see. Interesting. All right. I will maybe watch it in the future. That was longer than I expected. This is what I want to get into today. Hey, welcome in chat. Good to see y'all. Let me pull chat up so I can see it a little bit more easily on my end. Here we go. Hi, chat. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Today we are going to be watching the footage from the Battle Barn practice that I hosted this past weekend on Saturday. Had some nights traveling north and south, as well as some what I would describe as hungry unbelts, folks who are wanting to be better. And the goal is just to get together and have an indoor practice such that we're not worried about weather. And then we have some cross-pollination from different areas coming up from middle North Carolina all the way from Maryland, kind of meeting in what I would argue is central Virginia for the purposes of population, not geographically. Anyways, we're going to watch. I think this is like chronological order. I'm not certain. But I kind of want to just watch my own fighting. And today my goal is to set a few goals that I have for 2025. I don't know if you thought about this yet, John.
Not specifically, other than just the same. Like I have goals. I didn't really think about them based on the year. I think about them kind of between crowns, I guess.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, isn't that biannually? Crown to
Yeah.
crown?
So that is the same idea. It's just
What are you going to improve between now and your next crown?
I'm gonna work on. I want to try to get make a new shield, make it be slightly smaller.
Oh,
Advice I've gotten a lot. Same shape, just a little smaller.
Have you gotten enough shit about your shield being giant?
Yeah. And yeah, it seems like it's enough to give it to be worth a try at this point.
Okay.
And then I want to work on my still trying to work on like general fitness. So I definitely want to improve my stamina and my strength. And I need to get more fights with high level opponents, I feel like. So I have some ideas some ideas of how to improve upon all of those things. It helps that Count Floki moved down to Austin a couple weeks ago, so I'm gonna try to bug him about maybe
I didn't know that.
doing some training, and then I'm gonna just try to keep up the travel.
So he's in your area now.
Yeah, he was about 30 minutes away, 30 minutes north of here. So
That's cool. So because he's a mod and account, right?
correct, yeah. Mod Count Night.
Yeah. Has he been going to your local practice? Or
He has been to
switching?
one practice, and then it was really the last practice we had before the pandemic. Not the pandemic. What am I saying? Before the holidays.
Yeah. Okay. Little did you know, second pandemic.
Yeah. No, the holidays obviously canceled a couple practices.
Yeah. Okay.
And we won't have one this week, but
Let's see. If you see anything, let me know. A couple of things I'm working on are I want to make sure I have this space between blade and shield consistently closed until I go to attack. And when I attack, like cycle my arm via my feet more than pulling my arm back as much as I can.
so your slot essentially, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, be a little bit better about how to cycle because there's a couple different ways to do it. And we're working on those things. And then maybe bring I was doing this. This is the first match of the day. And I think I want to bring my guard, the sword guard down maybe another 8 inches all the time.
I think that makes sense because you have a little better of a block lower.
Yeah, just have a better I'm able to squat block legs a little bit better. Oh, something one of my first to-dos was my bicep and forearm were on fire for my shield arm after this practice.
Okay.
Like cramping, could barely hold a pencil or whatever, kind of tired. I was like, I can't have that for Adult Swim. and expect to be able to do Adult Swim for a couple of days.
Oh
with
yeah,
this
good
war.
point.
So I'm gonna go try to train that aspect before we start.
I mean, that's kind of. I remember at the end of the first day Adult Swim last year. You and me just looking exhausted fighting.
Yep. The meat grinder. I
Yeah,
was so tired.
that was fun, but fucking just brutal.
Hello, Sable. Hello, Billy. Hello. Happy New Year, both of you. Oh, what the? What a flat bonk.
Yeah. That was a nice little combo.
Alfred's looking good.
Yeah.
Tight with his throws, fast. His shoulders healed up was good.
This is Felix, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Lucian.
Felix and Lucian, yep.
Is Lucian Felix's square?
Yeah, Lucian and Fritz, who are on his flanks right now, are his squires.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
And both of them
I don't think.
are very good fighters at this point.
Yeah, I fought Lucian before. I've never fought Felix or Fritz. Well, I've actually. That's not true. I've done rapier with Felix before.
Okay, yeah. I don't
Not
doubt that he
Rapier.
tries to hunt you down to fight Rapier because he's been really into it the last year or so.
Yeah.
I think we watched his footage. Maybe you were here for that. He got top 8 in Ruby.
Yeah.
I think
I
we
think
did
I
one
remember
stream.
that.
Not long after Ruby Joust.
Didn't he win? Didn't he win a rapier tournament recently?
Yep, he did.
Like a bear pit or something?
Yule or something?
Yeah, I think I remember reading that on
Mm-hmm.
social media.
I don't doubt it. And when he was talking about it, he was, oh, that is what he got me on. Exactly that. He does this double offside thing. You see how like he pops a high
Yeah.
offside, and he wants a reaction. And the
So
reaction
he's getting
is to, like,
he's tagging an
come up
arm there, right?
and then
For
just
that
hitting.
second.
Yeah, he's just blasting your arm if he wants to. Right, he throws his offside, causes this to come up. Right, you see how
Oh, yeah.
exposed that is. And so he was saying when he was hitting me with it, he was like, it's more about the first one being strong enough to get a reaction out of their sword, like really hit their sword.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it's all about cycling speed. And then finding the elbow or arm. And he did.
Well, he
did
could
it
have
against
probably
me.
gotten leg or body if he had stepped a little too, if he
Yep,
wanted.
yep. He was saying exactly that. He hit me like more delt and then down in the hip when he took a left step with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to add that to my arsenal. I like that.
I like that, yeah.
His the way he does his offside is very punchy,
Mm-hmm.
generally. Which I've been working on that offside, which is very very different than like the kind of the swiveled hip offside, where it's rotational.
So
energy.
does he do it with a forward hip motion still? Like throw the offside with a forward hip rather than pulling the hip?
Yes, usually the forward hip,
Yeah.
but it's even less that. Like it's almost like
He does it more
just
upper body kind
punches
of?
more out of his shoulder arm,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
for his particular one.
That makes there not a lot of tell on it.
Yeah, exactly. I think I had the like the I suppose physical capacity to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what part of what I've been
Pretty good
working on.
flat snap there.
I hope you get a chance to fight both Lucian and Fritz this coming calendar year. They're both
Oops.
they can use the
Yeah.
they can use the
Well,
fights.
if they go to Adult Swim Golfers or Fensic, I will be there and can invite them.
I don't know. I don't know if they'll. Do you know, Billy? Do you know if any of these three are going to Adult Swim? Are you going to Adult Swim? It's all coming up.
Adult Swim is probably the best event, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Best, especially best non-war event, definitely.
Yeah, best fighting event.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We'll miss you. I still remember you. Oh, okay. That'd be cool. If they bounce up and if you get a chance, go pick a fight with Felix. Oh, no, I'm not that sorry. That sounds awesome. Disney World or Land? You go into like proper Disney World? Nice. I have never
That
been.
is
Alex
pretty
and I
cool.
have talked about going.
It doesn't seem like your kind of thing to me.
It's not. The cost, what up, Felix? We were just talking about you. Yeah, I appreciate that. Alex and I were talking about going because I think that it's a kind of like for me, a once in a lifetime experience.
Yeah.
Like do
You
it
don't know.
once to experience it.
Just try everything once
Mhm.
kind of vibe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely way more Alex's vibe, which is fine.
Yeah. That's what I would think.
Alessandro and Angeline have very much been like you got to go at least once.
Yeah, that
It's
makes
different
sense.
there.
I feel like it could be fun to go with friends sometime, maybe.
What happened? Why did Lucian? What?
I
Why
don't know.
was that so?
Was he already
freeze?
dead? Was the first one good?
Maybe it was. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, I think so. Maybe he was dead on the first one. That was a bad reaction. Bring your sword across.
Died defensively.
Yeah, die defensively. Oh. Yeah, yeah. I believe that for sure. All right, this is Golford and I.
Classic
Golford caught me
matchup.
on the hip a couple of times.
On the left hip or right hip?
Sword hip, yeah.
Sword hip, so offsides. Nice.
Yep. I should have squat blocked there. You can tell I'm hunting a little much.
Yeah. It looks like you're wanting to get a little closer, and then you sometimes do.
I've been trying to close in a lot. I just
Yeah.
practicing. At this practice, I was trying to offside tap or thrust my way into A to be able to play.
That's a good idea to practice that.
You know, at Adult Swim, I need to remember to not practice and fight all the new people as if it were like a tournament or a martially involved fight.
Yeah. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm. I forgot to. This past year was hard to get in that mode. At least at the beginning of the day. They should all treat it like, sleeping and prepping for Crown.
Well, you always in general have a hard time. Like you
Yeah.
were more casual at a practice
Definitely.
setting than a tournament setting. So
All the time. Man, I tried to do this on Felix without the compass step. The inside line, so right there, the follow-up inside line thrust.
Oh yeah.
And I catch that on a lot of people, but he was hitting me with the offside here. As his
Oh, he was
reaction. So it's a bad
like the
trade.
throw to stab, and then he was offsiding you as you throw it, as you were
Correct.
stabbing.
Yeah, it was his reaction. So if I pivot off my left foot, pivoting such that I'm fading away from the
Yeah.
person, that becomes more viable. So I've been adding that in. as
Something
well.
something Sven was telling me was to also like, as you stab, try to then like let your hand float, like keep your hand higher as you finish that stab, because then it keeps your hand from getting trapped. Because I kept stabbing, getting my hand trapped low.
Yes, yeah, that makes sense. Like
It's probably more
higher
of
on
a
the inside
issue for me
thrust.
because I'm short than you're tall, right? In general,
Yeah.
but
I like that the thumb lead I feel comfortable with because that blocks off the opposite line.
yeah.
And your
He was saying
high
even
hand.
if you're doing like thumb up, right, like stab, to then have your hand float high as you recover out of that.
Okay, that's legit. I can see that.
Good reminder for me to remember to work on that.
Yeah, play with.
He told me that at BAM and at Crown.
Now that you're thinking about it, what are some of your improvements for from Crown, from this past Crown that you're gonna implement? I suppose between now and Adult Swim.
Yeah. I think being a little just generally sharper with my motions and not like having like throwing sharper, stepping in and out more cleanly, being a little like it was a little lackadaisical sometimes in my fights, I think.
Like measure control.
Measure control when making my shots be real sharp and crisp. Especially like you said in practice settings where like sometimes you could feel a little like, oh, I'm just gonna kind of play around with this person. No, just be like real clean about it.
Interesting. So you split that second follow-up shot, split the gap, but it seemed like end the sword. It might have caught something away, and we didn't have frames for that. I don't do the double tap very much. Double, triple tap. That's another one to add into vocabulary. Double offside, double onside, triple onside. I know crown to crown, it can be widely varied as to the skill pool and your odds. If you had to take a time guess, how long do you think it would take you to be like, I got this one, like that level?
Oh, like super sure.
Yeah.
I think from like a just win when I want to, I'm still like a few years. That's like quite a few years away from getting one that's a less of a one
Like a
that's not
good
as
draw.
contentious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think I could win any of the next few. I think.
Okay. That's how I feel roughly. Same boat. Like,
I
feel
kind of
like
I kind of have an idea for the general competition for the. I think and there's always people. It's early, right? So we don't know everyone's intention.
yeah.
Based on my understanding, I kind of have a rough idea of who I think will probably contend for the next crown. So, and I think I have some ideas of how I'm working on some ideas of how to beat those people that I think are those contenders. So,
so fighting specifically to the Jesus, Billy, chill. Chat, you see that in the background? This is the classic Atlantean, on, off, on.
oh yeah, that was a very Atlantean sequence actually.
That to me is like stock Atlantean sequence.
Mhm.
Oh, they're pooped. Okay. Next. Alfred.
Who is this person fighting Felix?
Sigurd is their name.
Sigurd.
Yeah. I think they're
That was nice.
a long time fighter, but but it's not like super consistent. That's my understanding. I don't really know them very very well. For those in chat and those watching the YouTube video in the future, one of the things that makes you better is consistency. Like
Can we see that shot in slow?
yeah, I wanted to watch
He
that
just
frame by frame. Felix just chilling. No tell. He looks so chill.
Yeah.
A little bit of a pump. This right here makes me want to split the gap and thrust upward into his chin when I see Felix do this.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's usually hiding this from me. He does not want me to throw the thumb lead.
Would you just throw it straight? Would you like throw it just off the bat, or would you do a setup like a
I'd
tap
probably
to
like
throw?
throw thumb lead if I saw this much gap to get the shield to pop and then disengage to.
Yeah. I would think that I would throw a little like flick to that front corner and then see if the shield pops up and then try to drop the point
Just
tap.
get the knowledge. Let's look at the okay.
So he steps forward.
Yeah, so it's a step. So the hip is now a little bit more loaded because it's on the back hip. You can see if you look at the back foot here, it's going heel. You see how his toes up a little bit?
Yeah.
And then he transfers on those toes on the back foot. You see the hip comes forward just a little bit.
And the hand
It's
just
not a lot.
goes straight forward too, yeah.
The hand just goes straight forward. Like it just punches. It's just a punch. Boop, boop. That happens to have a stick that follows off that
Yeah.
punch. Boom.
That's basically the same way. That's like the similar way that like Branos talks about throwing that jab that he
Yeah, it's
throws.
just across. Yep.
Yeah, and hits that real like that's great. That's cool.
Find holes in Sigurd. That's cool. He's been doing it a long time, right? Sigurd has. Yeah, tall is a huge advantage in this game. There's really nothing other than that. That's just true. It's supposed to be out of order because Felix and I did this toward the end. Let's see how I can improve that. So I've been doing this pretty consistently. The willingness to tap and step in. So I step back as someone is pressuring me because this happens all the time, right? Step back, keeping measure, and then an offside tap to ensure that I don't get hit, like with that onside.
Yeah.
Cut. Like the
Control the sword.
inside. Yep, control the weapon. Step in, replace that space with my shield. Try to get shield to sword basket. But for me, I need to figure out once I get to here, once I'm in that Korokora dance, maybe have a series of actions right away as opposed to like see what happens. Because now I'm in like see what happens mode. I think I tried to thrust over. Yeah, we're just kind of I'm here and I don't have like a game plan, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I shouldn't have a game plan. Man, I don't feel comfortable here, especially with someone as good as Felix. That is true. For folks at home, try not to bash your buddies. I am pretty sure I got Lucian to call a good by hitting him with the shield. All I know is I don't like his weapon being free, and so I can feel my own uncomfortability. And he is way more comfortable than like regardless of how I present.
Yeah, you look like you don't want to kick your sword off, so you can't throw anything.
Yeah, correct, exactly. Yep.
So I feel like maybe the step there would be to get comfortable with the shield is the primary defense in that range.
Yep. Just learn that is okay. What he was saying is, and then something I'm going to work on is sequencing in more pivot steps because we're close.
Yeah.
When we're close here, right? Instead of dropping my shield down to defend myself low, which isn't inherently bad, it probably is like not the worst reaction, and I'm pretty good at it at this point. Like it cuts all the power out of those wraps. But to instead, like you see where my front foot is, to pivot back more.
Pivot back more with the front foot or the wait, which foot? The left foot?
Right now it's my left foot, my shield side foot. Mm-hmm. Instead of just like staying square to him, rotating instead. I guess I could step forward with the right foot if I have the room, but I don't know if I have the room here because we're pretty hip to hip.
Could you also bring your sword foot and hip back to free your hand up?
Yeah. Well, the idea of being like what I'm doing now.
I guess you are kind of doing that here.
Try to rotate with more often, like more pivots. Ooh, I tried to do one of those old school like take your elbow, punch through the shield.
Oh, yeah. You just couldn't get over the edge of the shield.
Not quite, but it was the right idea. I tried to go like elbow first, and flat the shield, and then hit them in the head. No.
I definitely hunt legs a little too much at this range. I feel like that's just the.
Do you get hit in the head for it?
Sometimes I just am throwing shots that they're like they know what they're gonna. They just know what's coming, so they don't worry about it.
Start with that anyway, and then go the other way. Oh, I see. You start with like the shield defense. Is that what you mean, Billy? And then start to pivot step off of that. Yeah, he found my hip by bringing his sword back, I think. Yeah, look at that angle that's coming up. He's down by his hip or just below it to come up and hit. I don't know if enough power bled through, but it looks like I'm calling it. Yeah, he was the one who was telling me to keep this a little bit lower because he was tagging his arm. So I'm trying to keep that guard just a little bit lower.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, he threw that again. Looking for that offside to arm. Do belts just turn sideways as you fight armored? Mine seems to do that.
It's a little bit, not that much. My belt did break the other day, but
Did it really? The hardware?
it's
Or
like
the...
tore. No, the leather just tore right next to the end of the hardware.
Mm.
I fixed it, or my dad helped me fix it, but
Did it get like in some way like sliced?
no, I think the leather might have gotten damaged, or it was just a weak spot, like because leather's obviously skin, right? So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't.
thicker and thinner, and yeah.
But yeah, so like it just lost basically like 2 inches at the end of it.
Gotcha.
Moved just to cut it off, moved the hardware down a little bit, put it back on. But I did fight. I was fighting. I was actually doing a heavy pickup with Fifi because he was trying heavy fighting at an event.
Nice.
And I just looked down. I'm like, that's my belt on the ground.
I remember y'all were cheering for Fifi at BAM real hard.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
because he
that was
did
pretty
the
hype.
novice tournament. Yeah.
I thought it was a pretty good stream. Watching
Yeah, it
y'all
was
cheer
fun.
for everybody else. That was cool. Hype. Chat, welcome in for those just joining us. Just reviewing practice from this last Saturday. I'm just trying to figure out what I could do better. I'll move myself over here.
Yeah, talking about our
Yeah.
plans for the upcoming year.
Yeah. Number one is definitely make sure my muscular endurance is a little bit better for Adult Swim. That's the plan. So I can get the most out of it.
Do you think it's worse than it used to be? Or you just a little like had you
definitely
taken a little
worse.
time off?
Because I've just taken a lot of time off. Like I haven't fought since WoW.
Oh,
October,
huh.
November,
Wow. Okay, that
December,
mean
like solid 2 months. Like haven't picked up a sword.
there's a holidays and stuff going on, so
I've just been doing way more grappling in that time,
yeah.
and I've been lazy about getting down to like the Tuesday practice.
Hmm.
And yeah, those are the main reasons. No specific excuses. It just kind of is what it is.
Yeah.
And I know I tend to do that. Like I tend to do less armored, or really SEA in general, but definitely less armored because rapier is more readily available throughout the wintertime.
Yeah. Kind of similar.
Adult Swim is when I get like usually my first big boost of like encouragement.
Yeah.
But this was really encouraging for me. I was like, oh yeah, I want to not lose at least my physical capacity to do it.
No, it looks like a good practice. A lot of good fighters here.
Yep, high quality fights. All right, these are. Let's see, what do we want?
Do you think you'll still do heavy Saturday, rapier Sunday, or do heavy both days?
That is a to be determined. Probably the
That is
former.
currently my plan is to do that.
Yeah,
'Cause I
probably
think,
join you in that.
yeah,
Probably do what you did, which is what we did last year, which is burn ourselves out entirely.
unarmored, yeah.
Yeah,
But rapier's easier.
rapier's easier.
In general, and also for me specifically, it is easier.
I want some of the armor to be in the fucking carpeted area this year.
Oh, so you don't slip all over the place.
The sliding was the thing I disliked most about armor, to be honest.
Yeah. It was the only real downside of the new site for Adult Swim, in my opinion. Oh, that's a nice shot.
Thanks. I was just looking at my placement. I'm happy with that.
There's a Duke Logan,
There's
right?
Duke Logan, yeah. They came out to our practice.
How much had you fought him before?
0. 0 times.
0.
I
Big
have not
chance.
fought Duke Nukem prior to this. I fought him spear to, I think spear. I think he was using a spear at the time. Like we fought him melee before.
Yeah,
Like
okay,
within
yeah.
the last
That's
year.
different though.
But I had not fought him prior. Apparently he was like martially a monster in his heyday.
Yeah, I've seen some videos.
I noticed he canted his shield a ton, which to me was like it felt very open. Like the face thrust felt very open. He was your off fight. Oh, that's cool. It's been a minute. You know you were my off fight, Billy. I don't know if you knew that for a swordboard, or if you remember that. Yeah, 'cause you came up to me and told me afterwards. You're like, you seemed happy after I wrapped you with a 7 or whatever, something like that.
He knew how you knew you could make it.
Oh yeah, are those the gauntlets, the metal one? Do I have your gauntlets? I don't remember. Were the clams? I don't remember the gauntlets. I just remember the fighting. I have a pair of gauntlets, but I think they're not the ones you gave me. Oh, you gave me some rusty boys. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about like the gear that I had. Yeah, metal clamshell, and they. I think I had passed them on because I was donated another pair, like a year later or something.
The traveling armor.
Yeah, I mean that's how it should be. I think
It should be, yeah.
I've given away everything that I've been given. I give away. I don't try to like hoard it or anything.
Yeah, no. Sometimes I'll hang on to stuff to keep his like loner, essentially
That's
personal
exactly
loner
it.
gear.
It's either loner gear because I have a set of Battle Barn loner gear as well.
Yeah. Or sometimes I'll do long-term loans and like, hey, you keep this when you get your own, give it back to me, and then I can give it to the next
Exactly
person.
that.
You
I
know,
love that. I think that's exactly how it should be.
that's how the game perpetuates and continues, right? So
Otherwise, you don't get more players. Welcome in,
yeah.
chat. I hope everybody's having
Your
a
arm
good New Year.
definitely, your shield arm definitely looks tired in this set.
I know. Well, I was. You see how I was shrugging right there? That was me trying to think about like what Felix was saying about shrugging more. They called a hold on this. I was fine to play this out.
Why would there be a hold
I
here?
don't know. I don't remember who called it. Someone was like, "Hold, detangle." I was like, "I'm fine to find out." I chose this.
I see no issue with
I see
that.
no issue
personally.
either. You know, I'm defending myself. I'm a consenting adult.
And you also were like, some places get a little fear about shield to body contact, but your shield was on his gear, not on even on his arm.
Oh, he had found the top of my shield and pulled down with his
Yeah,
pommel.
but it was all gear to gear. It wasn't like,
Yeah. No. Yeah, exactly. No body bound up or anything.
oh, that was nice.
Yeah, the cant in his
snappy,
shield
really
made that
snappy
feel very
flat
open. I
stuff.
don't know why. I don't know if it's tiredness or what.
Oh yeah,
But like to me, this line of the shield made it like, oh, that's just a gap always there.
yeah.
That makes it to me easier to hit.
Was you thinking about trying to maybe block that with the back corner or something,
Maybe I don't know. Like
and maybe a little out of practice or something?
next section looks like Fritz beating the brakes off of me. Does he in fact beat the brakes off of you? I guess that's the question. I have one bruise from that practice, and it is Fritz. Oh, I was giving Lucian kind of a not a pep talk, but like how to control your mental during Crown,
Oh yeah,
and just things to focus on. I have that video that I put out within this last year about like staying in the present moment to enter flow state.
yeah.
Like you can get in the zone, but you have to be present with your thoughts.
There is also the like 3-hour podcast essentially we did with Dom and Rowan about similar topics
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
if you want a real deep dive on it.
You know, different opinions, different approaches. It was interesting. That was an interesting deep dive to me.
Yeah.
Largely because like different people have such different approaches to their mental. I only have
Yeah.
I live inside my brain, so I can only experience it from my perception.
Exactly. Yeah. I love talking about it because of that, from the different approaches, and I've definitely found things from that other people have said that have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna steal that way of thinking
Yeah,
about
no.
it."
I think it's good to be able to approach it in a number of different ways, so that
Yes.
as from a teaching perspective, so that your student can find one that they can relate to. Because not
Yeah,
all,
I agree.
yeah, not all students are going to relate to all the different ways one approaches. Man, he's finding that offside on you a bunch. I mean, except for that one.
Fritz does some weird stuff with his feet.
Yep, has an inward cant.
Yeah.
It's
Is
a
that like a
pigeon toed.
yeah? Is that like a physical thing from the way his legs are, or is that?
I don't really know. I have noticed that for a long time and for all of his fighting, but um, yeah, he has an inward cant to his feet, and I think
That
it's
doesn't.
probably due to like inward cant from knees and hips first.
Yeah. It doesn't seem ideal, but if it's not
No,
causing any
definitely
problems.
not. You know, that's a I've never sat him down and done like physical testing or anything, so I have no idea.
Yeah. I thought you did that on all your friends.
I tried to, if they let me. Usually, the people who let me are the ones who are like, "Ow, my back hurts," or like, "Ow,
Oh
this
yeah.
hurts," or "I'm tight in this way."
Mhm.
Some shit's gone wrong. That's almost exclusively the market.
The number of times I've seen you at a party be like, oh, going off in the corner to like stretch to have someone stretch for you.
Yeah, yeah, or calf massage or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty common.
people. I think I've made a name for myself in certainly the skating. That's Roman. Yeah, I don't even notice it anymore. I just do it. It's just part of like a normal party experience. I've done it multiple times at the Roman party.
Yeah. Standard boomy
I know.
behavior.
The context is funny to think about that.
Yeah.
Drunken party all around. I'm just like in the corner doing like PT.
If we made like if there was like a bingo card for like different things that Boomy would do, or different things that our like friend would do at a party, that would be definitely on it.
Oh, that was a sneaky one.
That's a nice leg there.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that.
I liked how you pulled the arm back for that. Felix is good about, I think, judging where his guard needs to be in space when he throws those leg shots.
That just beats the edge of that
Yeah,
shield.
yeah, exactly. And it's like the placement is good. The stick, where it hits, is really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. God damn it, Felix.
That's perfect.
Wearing no pants. Yeah, no, pants are optional for Penzik for sure, all the time.
All clothes optional for Penzik, pretty much.
Yeah, clothes are kind of Penzik optional. I mean, aside from the Marshall field for sure, but
Yeah.
I do spin the.
Are they too close to the wall? So
Yeah, he's pretty close to the wall. That's all right.
you couldn't throw an overhead wrap though.
Yeah. Stuffs himself.
Maybe golfer did that on purpose.
I know Felix will tell you it's like I'm on my on my decline. He's kind of hit his peak and is now on the kind of the slow downward. He's just fighting against the inevitable decline, martially speaking. But he's still very good, and his especially when he wants to be, like when he puts on his try hard pants. But I say that because there's been a number of times now that I've seen other like Dukes fight him, and they just assume he's a Duke because he does so well.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. I mean, he's only not one because he doesn't want to be, right?
I think that's the gist. That's my understanding.
That's basically like Ragnar here, like
Yeah, two-stick.
two-sword
two-stick
Ragnar.
rag.
Yeah. He could be a Duke multiple times over if he ever wanted, but doesn't want to.
I'm excited to fight Rags again.
Oh yeah. It's always interesting. He does rapier now too. Did I tell you about?
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you did rapier with him.
At
Yeah.
the golf.
Yeah.
Last golf. He
He's
grabbed
gotten
me.
better since then, even.
He was like, "Come kick my ass in this sport." I
Yeah.
was like, "Sure, that's fine.
I
Fair
wonder if he's
play."
bringing his rapier stuff to Adult Swim. That'd be cool.
I just generally like it when high level folks cross over. because
Yeah.
it adds to like essentially what you and I have done, which is
Yes.
try to achieve a high level in multiple sports.
hmm
Although it's
Fighting
very
is fun.
easy
So
here. Go ahead.
I said fighting is fun. Is what I
Yeah,
was just
fighting is
saying.
fun. Fighting is fun. I have found that like I enjoy like buffering is fine, melee
Yeah.
field stuff is fine. Like basically all of it's enjoyable. A lot of it is like barrier to entry for participation, where armored I think has the most barrier. Like you got to put on the most gear, haul the most
Yeah.
stuff.
Can you go back slightly? I wanted to see that sequence from Golfred and Felix in the back.
About here, or is it further back?
I think it's just about to start.
Okay. Felix double tap. Nice offside.
Kind of offside, yeah. Good timing on
Yeah.
that. He went back a little farther than I thought, but that's fine.
Yeah, I didn't know which sequence you were
Yeah,
speaking of.
I was watching the other fight, and then I looked over. I think it's this one that I was.
That high low.
Yeah, that one there, right there. I think.
I'm happy to see Golford back on the field. He was out for
Yeah, 'cause he had.
a year and change with shoulder problems,
Huh.
shoulder elbow problems specifically.
Did he fight? He fought at Pennsic though, right? This last
Mm-hmm.
for at least half of the Pennsic.
Yeah, for a portion of it.
Didn't he get COVID at the end of Pennsic?
I don't know. Unknown. Yeah, the
Yeah,
time
I
off
think he
didn't
got
really slow him
sick.
down. His speed has been pretty good. I tell other people mechanically he is way tighter than I am for sure.
Oh yeah.
I think like him and I like he has the mechanics I wish I had.
Yeah.
Tight and through the core.
He's very fast.
Very
Sharp.
fast hands, but like my what I have is mostly like pretty good like tactics.
Yeah.
I think that's how my brain works.
You have better range control.
Yep, giving a little bit of a using the skills that I already have.
Yeah. And you're twice as tall as he is, so
That helps a ton.
I know it's not quite twice,
Yeah.
but
Larger, heavier, and
yeah.
probably objectively stronger. I can hold more stuff for longer.
Do you think you are heavier than him? Because like,
Than Alfred? For sure.
yeah. How much do you think Golford weighs?
I have no idea how much he weighs, but I don't think he weighs what I weigh, which is on average between 185 and 190.
Okay, I was thinking 180. It was 180 was what I had in my head of how much you weighed. But
Yeah, when I like summertime, if I'm getting more cut for Pennsic, I drop down to like 180, 185 in that range
okay,
on an average day.
that's fairly light for your height, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've also been like consistently working out for the last couple of years, and so I'm still making
Yeah.
slow gains on my hypertrophy. So like my average weight ticks up over time.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Them thick thighs.
Think that.
Oh,
I weigh about 170 right now, so
is that lower? Isn't that lower than what you had been?
that's high. That's the heaviest I've ever weighed.
Is it? Oh, I remember
I've
you were
usually been
saying
around
like
150 to 60.
you were heavy like this last war, this last Pennsic.
Yeah. And I haven't weighed myself. I don't weigh myself very often, so
Oh, I think you should weigh yourself every day, not to like torture yourself. It's just just one good metric of like health.
yeah.
Because there's some stuff you'll like learn about yourself. Like if I get sunburned, like a bunch of sun, even if I don't feel the burn, I'll put on 3 pounds or so on average.
Interesting.
Because my body wants to hold water in because it feels injured. And that's just like
interesting.
It
Yeah.
could be not even like that like burnt where I feel it. It's just like I was in the sun all day, even under a hat. Or other things like aside from dehydration, which is an important like factor in weight, like when I get sick, there's usually a noticeable spike in weight.
Hmm.
Like before I'm getting sick, like before I feel
Yeah.
the symptoms, I should say.
Yeah, I've gained a little weight. It's a combination of fat and muscle, I'm pretty sure.
But learning some of that is good, and then understanding like your body fat percentage.
Yeah.
What's up, Galfred? We were just speculating about your weight. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm like at one. For me right now, I'm probably 188. I think this morning, something like that. I think I'm like. My guess is like 30 to 40 pounds heavier than you. I don't know, but that's my guess. You can tell me if I'm right or not. What up, Lucian? Hello, hello. Yeah.
Oh, alright, nice.
So I'm a solid 40 pounds heavier.
Okay, fair.
And I think that matters huge in this game. All right, Lucian. Early on in our set, I don't know if this is in chronological order, but early on in our set, I'm pretty sure I bonked you with my shield and you called it. I was going to see if it's here, if the footage is here.
Just left hook.
Yeah, that's what it was. He called it good, and I was like, I didn't swing my sword. What happened? I just don't know if it was edited in or out. Yeah, chat, for those viewing, welcome in. I'm just setting some goals, reviewing some footage from a recent practice this past weekend, and then setting some goals for the new year, especially for armored fighting. With Adult Swim coming up, for those who weren't here earlier, after this practice, my left bicep and forearm were on fire. And so I need to work on my muscular endurance between now and Adult Swim so I can fight all day and hopefully still have energy for the second day. Another thing I know I'm working on is keeping my guard a little bit lower, just a little bit lower. If I throw that shot, the thrust, the inside line right here, that I pivot out right here and pivot compass. I was just practicing it here. If I pivot, in theory, I'm blocking what would otherwise be open to an offside, so that Felix specifically doesn't just punch me with that offside because it's open. I like it when there are folks who punish me in new ways, and I have to learn to adapt. Are you more excited now, John, for Adult Swim?
Yes.
You're like looking and thinking about fighting for yourself.
Yeah.
Are we staying in the same place that we did fucking the Valley Snowden?
That's the place that currently has more votes in the poll on the chat.
Okay. That's cool. Chat.
You voted. You said you were fine with it in the
I'm fine
poll.
with it. Yeah, I have no issue with it. I don't want to get fucking snowed in again.
I don't think there's going to be. What are the chances of there being a snowstorm 2 years in a row, right?
We don't know.
So the only reason that Ron and I were talking about, the only reason we were thinking about maybe a hotel would be better, just because that's the closest Airbnb, and it's still 30 minutes away from the site.
Yeah, I don't mind the drive. That wasn't an issue.
Yeah.
Chat, for those who don't know, last year on the way to Adult Swim, for those who went, there was a snowstorm up in Pennsylvania, and in my vehicle, we decided to go to the Airbnb that we had reserved, but it is down in a low part of the area, such that it's like next to a lake and it's in a valley, and we absolutely got like stuck trying to go several times, where we had to get out, and I used that shield that's in the video to shovel my ass a track so that my wheel could touch the ground and drive. And we spent maybe an extra 4 hours unnecessarily being stuck. Yeah. I had just avoided the Airbnb and gone to a hotel in the first place, which is why I ended up doing anyways. It saved a bunch of time.
Yeah.
But live and learn.
Because there ended up being like what 6 of us in one hotel room.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just slept on the floor in J. Lawrence. It
Yeah.
was very memorable. I will remember that for forever. Like a 9, 10 hour trip. But
It was certainly an exciting adventure.
it was a hell of an adventure. Taking my shield and shoveling. Torsten and I just like one of us pushing the car, one shoveling with the shield. Hell of a thing.
My Texas ass was not sure what to do with it. So I didn't get stuck. I was with Jay and
Yeah,
Lauren. We didn't
yeah.
get
Y'all
stuck,
did
but
the
we
smart
were
thing.
we were driving really slow down these country roads. This is a really good stab.
Thank you. Chat. When you see me probe a bunch with my sword, this is what I'm looking for: is that shield reaction to go high? Because that was the laziest shit from me. Like I didn't do anything to throw that. But if I get the
This is
reaction,
my favorite way to set up a stab too in heavy. Like this is
yep,
little shield pop. They pull the shield up when you just
and then
turn your hand
actually
in.
thrust, yeah. Because it resets, and if it leaves any bit of a gap, you need what, that 1.5 inch gap. That's it.
Yeah, there's not much.
You know, it didn't take too much to get
You
that
did a
done.
good job of really cranking this in there too.
Punch it a little
Like
bit.
no one's not calling that one. I don't think.
I'm trying to work on that acceleration because I'll need it for when I actually fight, like crown type contenders.
Yeah, sometimes I'll throw this and I'll throw the stab a little too late because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just like popping. I want to just step out from like it's just little rapier habits, I think.
Yep.
And so like really turning that, popping that hip and turning the hand, like giving that little squeeze to really pop their face hard.
Yep. Learning to be better in this context.
Mhm.
Also, hello, Dom. Happy New Year.
Dom here.
Yeah. I'm just piped up in chat. It says probably not good for my car. Dom, your car. None of your cars should be driving in snow, I think. The current one and the historical ones. Are y'all going up to Adult Swim, Lucian? I don't know if you're still in chat. Hoping y'all make it up. It's such a good. Yeah. Are you riding up with
Nice, yeah.
Felix and Fritz? Y'all should fight. Y'all should fight John.
Yeah, definitely. I think Lucian I fought last Adult Swim.
Yeah, I think you did. I think I filmed it.
Yeah, definitely love to get a fight with all of y'all.
Yeah, Fritz and Golfred are two of the fastest hands, at least in our area. My shit feels real slow comparatively.
We've always talked about how you have like relatively slow hands for high-end fighting.
Yep. I'm getting better with it.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of my flat snaps today that were just the kind of Felix style punch.
Yeah,
Nice,
real poppy. Yeah.
nice thrust, Golfred. That's some shit John and I'd like to do.
And Golfred's a rapier fighter too, so
Yep, yep.
way into the pal.
Danger, pal. Golfer's gotten faster, maybe. I think he's definitely better about setting up his, like, with more intention, setting up his attack sequences. I think that's where he can have the most gain. Man, he hit me with that too. That offside to the hip. Froze me.
Looks like he's doing a little better of like breaking the plane of the shield. Like with like that, this is a good example of that, right? Like he gets inside the shield here with
Yep,
this.
with his elbow. Boom.
Boom. Oh, you see the stick flex on that too.
Yeah, that's pretty. Pretty shot right at the hip.
That's nice. I'm sure that hurts. Unless we're arming there, I guess.
Yeah, he popped me there a couple of times when he Golfred would like pump high to freeze my stuff high, and then he goes low.
I think maybe. Yeah, I was about to say like maybe Alfred Shield gets a little low sometimes.
Yeah, Fritz thrusting. What a what a practice. He hadn't done that. That wasn't part of his game. I think Fritz and Lucian both didn't have thrusting tips for first couple of years or
Mhm.
something. I don't know how long. I like that reaction, that offside up.
I was close on that stab there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're both getting better with it. They used to me train. Oh, is that thrust free? I think that's what Felix did, right? Couple of years no thrust, and then starts to integrate it as part of the game.
I definitely try to not throw too many thrusts at practice, like unless I'm really gearing up
Yeah.
for crown or something,
Yep.
because
Do what you're good at.
do what I'm not as good at.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like there's modifications, right, in your style to deal with thrusting. I mean, you kind of have to. You don't really have a choice. You can tell they're tired. How did that get past the shield? What an angle. Oh, it was just above. Okay. Look at that. One frame
Big
and the
gap.
shield's over the line.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a very pretty shot in terms of the aim. This is the end of practice. You're also tired getting that shield up. But yeah, he cuts that space between your sword blade, and that corner of the shield. Very pretty. Working on those punch cuts. I don't know if that thrust hit.
Stab was high, right?
Yeah, I think the thrust is high. That's exactly what I was just thinking. It's like I wonder if, but it definitely gave Golford pause right there. You could see it in the reaction.
Yeah, so he had to think about it, which then let him hit him with the
Mm-hmm.
flat.
Let's rewind a little. Was that high? Or is it?
Oh, oh, maybe not. It's like right at the edge.
That's hard to tell.
I think it's half on the. It's like right
You have like,
on
yeah, I
the.
think it maybe breaks the line of the grill. But
Of,
if
yeah,
someone called that high, I would not at all be remiss.
I think this is one of those where you would, if they called it either way, you wouldn't argue. You know,
Correct. Yeah. Agreed.
they said high, you'd be like fine. If they said good, you wouldn't call it back.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Good call, golfer. That for you to be able to feel that from inside. I don't think I'd be able to feel that from inside the helm.
I feel like Golford always has great calibration.
Like feeling calls and giving blows.
Yeah, very good, very honorable, very uh, like if something hits him clean, he takes it.
The free one at the end. All right. Hey, Lucian, thank you, Charisse, and you for filming and posting the footage. Chat, this is what I've come up with so far. This is my current list. Let's see if it's bigger. The goal, so 2025 to do, practice a lower sword block and keep my sword generally a little bit lower for coverage. Still keeping my blade looped across the shield. Squat block more often is part of my goal. When I do that inside thrust, I need to pivot step with it so that on the off chance the person who is counterattacking is able to throw that offside, I'm able to not die that open line. Sword leg thrust the thumb lead. Oh, this one. This is just one of mine. It's like a personal. We'll throw this to the side. It's like a personal thing. But these are the other things gotten from this video. Offside to offside that Felix uses. And then working on muscular endurance for Adult Swim. Because, man, I
Or
hurt
I
after
guess
that.
too, right? Yeah.
I need to improve upon that. I think one more goal for Adult Swim. For those who are watching, I don't know if you all know who Sir Arn is. I don't know if they're a count or if they have count or do.
Sir, they're just a knight.
Okay, Sir Arn, up in the east, I believe. He last Adult Swim, he was telling me about how his first fight is his serious fight. He's like, I pretended like it's martial, and I get one fight to kill somebody, and then everything after that can be the practice part. So goals for Adult Swim is to build some muscular endurance, to beat Sir Arn on the first pass. Any other goals? You got any, John?
Yeah. So like short term, yeah, I definitely need to want to work on a little endurance stuff before Adult Swim, and then definitely want to go to Adult Swim with the right mindset and get some good fights in.
Yeah.
And then overall, over the course of the year, I want to improve fitness in general and try to get an adult. And this is a good goal. One of the reasons I want to go to Adult Swim is try to get high level sparring as much as possible. So
I want to put in be mean and Adult Swim for myself.
be mean. That's a good way
Yep.
to think of it. Yeah.
'Cause I definitely am way too playful, I think, which is generally good for practice.
Mhm.
But at Adult Swim in particular, I feel like it is better for both myself and the people I'm fighting to kind of bring tournament pants to the fight.
Well, Adult Swim is a practice, but it is also a way to test where you are,
Yeah.
and you expect people to give you higher level fights. So I think that is
Testing for
appropriate.
better results.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who are going to be there at Adult Swim, I look forward to seeing you all there. That'll be fun.
Yeah. I'll definitely be there as well, and Gulf Wars, which is right after. So
Yeah. For those at Golf Wars, those at Adult Swim, we'll see you all on the field sooner than later as the winter starts to pass and our days get longer.
yeah.
Chat.
Definitely hunt us down on either field.
Yeah, exactly. If y'all see me or John out and about, come fight us. We enjoy fighting across the board. I hope everybody here has a wonderful new year. We're going to go figure out what we're going to do tonight and maybe spend some time with some friends. Everybody be safe, and we'll see you all in 2025.
Yeah.
Have a good night. Bye, friends.
Good night,
Happy
everyone.
New Year. Goodbye. Goodbye.